Hello, I'm Louise from Impact Physio. This is the second of my standing routines to help you keep mobile in your upper back and shoulders, especially if you're doing more computer desk work at home. We're going to be using a pole. You can use a pole, a stick, or any garden implement that you have handy. It's going to be an exercise to stretch the upper back, the shoulders and the forearms. We're going to incorporate just a little bit of neural mobility, and it's for healthy shoulders. So if you have any pain in your shoulders, elbows or wrists and hands, it's best to stick to the exercises shown to you by your physiotherapist. So we're just going to hold the pole just a little bit wider than your hips, and with our feet we're going to take the toes out and then the heels out, and just feel that you're on a nice stable surface. And we're just going to gently start by just rocking our weight into our toes and back into our heels. And you're just going to slow that movement slowly down until you find a position right in the center where your pelvis is balanced over your feet. Just feel you lengthen your waist a little and you grow a little taller, reaching your head up towards the sky. I'm going to start just by breathing in to lift your shoulder blades and to drop your shoulder blades. And we're keeping a light grip on the pole. Breathing in to lift, out to lower. And each time your shoulders lower, just feel like you grow just a little bit taller. And down, and last one up and down. And then we're going to stretch a little bit into the neck, so taking your right ear to your right shoulder, keeping the pole nice and horizontal as you do that, and back to the top and over to the opposite side and back to the top. Once more to each side, over and back. And then you're going to look over your shoulder, to the right, back to the centre, to the left, back to the centre, to the right, and back, and to the left, and back. Now we're going to just move that pole. We're going to stand nice and tall, keep the weight even on the feet, and as you breathe out, floating those arms just up to shoulder height, and back down again. Breathing out, and breathing in. 4. As the arms come up, the shoulder blades melt down into your back pockets, keeping length and height through the spine. 2 more. And on this last one, we're going to hold the arms out in front of you. And just going to gently just flex the wrist down, just to create a little bit of stretch through the forearms. 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. Looking back to neutral, bring the arms down. And this time we're going to take the arms a little bit higher. So we're going to take the arms up, again trying not to shift the weight, keep the weight even on your feet, shoulder blades dropping into your back pockets as the arms elevate, keeping the pole nice and horizontal. Breathing out to lift and in to return. Nice smooth even movement. Good. All the way up. Feeling strong in your tummy muscles as the arms reach overhead. And on the next one, we're going to take the arms up overhead, and we're just going to hold those arms overhead and do those little wrist flexions again. 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. Back to neutral. Bring the arms back down. Now this time we're going to take the arms all the way up and just hold here. Again, strong. Draw your tummy gently in towards your spine, nice and tall. And we're going to bend the elbows, pulling the elbows wide as we take that pole down just to the top of your head and press firmly back up. Again, keep horizontal in the pole. 4, 5, and this time hold down on that 6th one. And this time we're taking the wrist backwards. 1 and 2. Keep reaching those elbows wide, collarbones wide. 5 and 6. Lovely. Reach all the way back up, lengthening through your spine, growing tall, and slowly bring the arms back down to the center. Super. Give your shoulders a little bit of roll. So we're going to add a little stretch to the side of the rib cage. So this time we're coming up. We're going to hold over the head. Again, nice soft shoulder blades. I'm going to take a little stretch over to the side, and you're going to lengthen. It's more about lengthening than tipping over. I've tipped to my right side, I'm pressing my left heel into the floor, stretching into my left hand, and then growing taller and lengthening as I come back up. Opposite side, over to the side, finding that stretch and lengthening, growing tall from my waist. Try and keep your pelvis centered over your feet. Try not to let your hips, you don't want your hips waving out to the side, but keeping that pelvis nice and centered, elongating. And over, I'm going to do one more to each side. Let your neck relax, let your ear drop to your shoulder gently. This time we're coming over to this side. We're just going to hold, pushing the heel into the floor, finding that stretch. Take a nice breath in, stretching those upper ribs, and as you breathe out, draw back to the top. And again, opposite side, over to the side. Take a breath and draw back through to the top. Lovely. And bring the arms back down. Again, giving the shoulders a little roll. It's picking up. So this time we're going to take the pole behind our backs. Again, nice and open through the collarbones. Really feel lengthened through that waist, nice and tall. The collarbones are wide and open. And again, we're going to do these little shoulder blade lifts and lowers. Keeping the pole just away from your bottom. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And the neck rotations again. Feel that chest open and widen. And we're going to take your ear to your shoulder. You might feel a little stretch into the arm here. Don't push into any pain. Just keep it as a gentle tightness. Nice relaxed grip on the pole. And then we're going to look over your shoulder and back and over and back. Again, keeping that chest open. Widening those collarbones. And back to the center. And then we're going to just keep that open chest, deepen your tummy muscles, and just press that pole back behind you to create a little extra stretch over the shoulders. And we're going to do 6 of these. And 3, and 4, and 5. And on the 6th one, we're going to hold and return to that little wrist flexion for 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and bring the pole back. Now I want you to take a little bit of a wider stance. Take the feet a little wider. Zipping up through your center, long through the waist. Taking a breath in as you breathe out, push those arms back behind you, opening the chest. And take a nice big breath into your chest. And out. And we're going to do a little bit of rotation to create a little bit of stretch through the tissues of the body. So we're just going to pivot on one toe. I'm just going to rotate to my right, letting my pelvis rotate, and then come back to the center. Keeping that pole away from my bottom, so I'm keeping that nice stretch. And the pole wants to stay horizontal to your body. You're not twisting the arms out, we're just turning, keeping that stretch, open chest, and just rotating to one side and the other. Just pivoting the feet, let your feet just pivot. One more to each side. Let's hold on this one, take a breath into the chest and return. And to the opposite side, take a breath into the chest and return. Lovely. Release that pole down and bring it back round to the front again. Good. Bring the feet back in. So we're going to take them toes and heels apart, and we're going to do a little bit more stretch into the sides and the rib cage. So holding again, hip width apart, finding that nice centered position for your pelvis and lengthening through the waist. And we're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, float those arms all the way up over your head. And once we're there this time, we're just going to give those shoulder blades a little lift and lower up here. Lift and lower, slide the shoulder blades up and down. Good. One more, up and down. And this time we're going to hold here. Shoulder blades are down, neck is nice and long, chin is tucked in. We're going to come over to our side stretch again, growing tall through the waist, hips stay centered all the way through. And this time, just bend that bottom elbow to bring the pole to a vertical position. And then we're going to straighten the arm out, lift and lengthen, over to the opposite side. And again, bend that bottom arm to bring the pole to a vertical position. Back up and out again. This time, coming all the way over, bring the pole to a vertical position. And what we're going to do now is just roll that top shoulder forwards, and I'm rolling down, bringing the pole to a horizontal position parallel to my body. And as I've rotated down, I'm drawing my tummy in and pushing my right hip forwards to make sure the pelvis doesn't rotate. I'm going to come all the way back up to the side stretch, bringing my arm over, straighten the arm out and come back up. Opposite side, coming over to the side stretch, bringing that pole parallel, keeping the length through the waist, rotating my right shoulder forwards, but I'm pushing my left hip forwards and scooping my tummy in to maintain that pelvic position. Coming back up, we're pushing the pole out and bringing yourself back up. One more to each side. You should be feeling just a nice stretch, shouldn't be any pain at all. Down and forward, scooping the tummy in and back up. Looking forwards as you do so, framing your head and bringing the arms up and then over, bringing that pole parallel, rotating, scooping my tummy in, pushing my left hip forwards as I turn to the left side, bringing that pole back up, framing my face and coming back up to the top and bringing the arms down. Give those shoulders a little roll. Lovely job and well done. If you carried that all the way through to the end, that's great. I hope you feel a little bit looser and I look forward to seeing you soon.